Well, hello there. It's episode 27 of Baldur's Gate, an As edition going mostly solo. And you join me here just outside of the Friendly Arm Inn, and we are going to say goodbye, wilderness. Hello, big city. It's only taken us 27 episodes, but we are finally going to get to Baldur's Gate itself. But we need to go through here first. So, after last night's epic 2-hour jaunt through the Cloakwood mine, I thought it might be a good idea to have a slightly more relaxing video today. So, rather than hoover up all of the potential quests in here, I'll give you a little bit of a city tour. So you can notice the drawbridge is down now. Now I have single-handedly, almost, resolved the bandit crisis. I can go across the Worm's Back and introduce myself to the local constabulary. And hello. Yeah, I might as well tell the truth. Doesn't really matter. You still get to talk to this guy anyway. Number 2 in the Flaming Fist. Yeah, that was me. Sure, why not? So, investigate the Seven Sons. Yeah, there's more to this than you might think, Mr. Number 2. 2,000 gold. Okay. Use stealth in your investigations. Well, it's just as well I brought along my sneaky boots. Okay. Look for this guy. And this will move the story on. So, I will do a little tour of the city. We will probably won't start anything major to do with the plot until the next area. Next video. Yeah. So this will I'm going to be, well, Harrison is going to be your tour guide as he blunders around the area. Dazzled by the bright lights of the big city. Possibly scaring chickens as we go. And around here, there is a potential companion, Quail. He's a gnome. I think he's magician or cleric. I've never actually used him because I've heard he's too annoying. You will meet him again quite early on in Baldur's Gate 2. Where, spoiler alert, he is one of the few potential companions in BG1 who doesn't get killed off. Well, more on that when we actually get to Baldur's Gate 2 and I finish this little thing off. Okay, so let's go to the city. And so there are kind of like quite a few different regions in here. So it's like all the points of the compass, and we have a little central region as well. So there are like nine maps. They're not all the same size, but not all the same interest. But welcome to the city.
Oh, there, Wanda.
Oh, it's you again.
Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
Ah, good to see you. Yeah. Come on, what do you want? Oh, you my foster father. Yeah. I've always marched to the beat of my own drum. Yes. Thou hast hungry blood within thee as well, and it will not let thee go without a fight. Hmm. Ah, I'm gonna conquer all in my own useless way. Okay, so we've already met Scar, and we will deal with this Duke a little bit later.
Not a problem.
So this is the eastern area of Baldur's Gate, and it's got a few interesting things in it. The Lucky Aiello's discount store. Nothing in there is worth buying. All of the magical items are cursed. So while you may think you're getting a good bargain, you really aren't. There's even a sword in there that steals some of your money every time you successfully hit an enemy with it. So even though it is +2, it just eats through your gold supply. Not necessarily a good thing. But speaking of money, I'm doing quite well. You may have noticed I recharged my Wand of Sleep, and it now has a whopping 100 charges. It did cost me quite a lot of gold to do that. It was almost 8,000. But I had a little bit of a fire sale. You know, one previous owner. Very dead indeed. And yeah, I've got my magic jewellery back to full power. And I have a very useful Wand of Sleep, and I still have plenty of arrows. But more on which later. So let's just have a... I'll just try and run around the map and you know, point out the main highlights in each area, and we're coming up to a couple of very, very useful places in the game. This quiet, unassuming building is the local Thieves Guild. It's a good idea not to go in there without an invitation, because if they don't, well, they won't necessarily kill you on sight, but there are some good quests in here, and there's one very special item. What the hell happened there? Oh, it's just gone dark. Oh, what's the time? Yeah, night has fallen. So, you need to be a little bit more careful on the streets after dark, because particularly in the eastern area of the city, there are a few little troubles. But there's not really anything in these little barrels and crates that are worth really hunting for. There's a little tavern and inn here where you can rest, and the Shop of Silence is not actually a shop. But it is a potentially safe place where if Silence, the thief, I think she's a shadow dancer actually, if she likes you, she will let you sleep there for free, which can be quite a good idea under certain circumstances. You may also notice these grates in the roads here have little steps on them when you hover the cursor, which means we can go to the poor man's dungeon, otherwise known as the sewers. And there's actually a quest that we need to do down there as well. There's a very well appointed inn. Also has a few side quests in there that you can pick up, and the odd houses dotted around, not terribly interesting. So I've kind of saved the best thing, really, till last in this particular area. So, you know, more houses. that's abandoned. You can have a route around and you can just break into people's houses in the dead of night, and you know, if you really need the money. Otherwise, there's, you know, that weapon shop. It's probably closed by now. We'll have a look at it at some other time. But there's, you know, some fairly useful stuff in there. Certainly, if you're after magical arrows, I think they're sold in there. But this is Sorcerer's Sundries. Try not to go upstairs. Yeah, unless you like fighting mages. It's not really worth it, to be honest. But we have a lovely chap here.
Yes?
Let's have a look at what you got. He will buy any mage scroll, and you can also sell potions to him that, you know, you don't particularly need. So yeah, I'm keeping that. So these guys that I can't use, I might as well sell them. There we are. And a little bit more money, almost over 20k. Again, that no use to me, so it goes. I am definitely keeping that. I don't think you can steal from this guy. Would not be a good idea anyway. There's a couple of slightly rarer magical weapons. So nice axe, nice +2 flail. If you have a reputation of 20, you know, it's not actually that expensive. This arrow of slaying, horrifically expensive, and it's only useful against one enemy, an ogre mage. So could have really done with one of those in the last video. There is an ogre mage in the he's kind of like the boss of the nasty creatures in the sewers, and you can use that to kill him. That's if you can trust your archer not to critical miss, which of course I can't. So we have the standard bitey arrows, acid arrows. These are magnificent. These are fireball delivered by arrow. Exceptionally useful against groups. And my usual tactic is right before coming or going to the Undercity, or probably the best time to buy them actually is just before you go to Candlekeep, for reasons which will become obvious later on. Yeah, buy them all. Absolutely buy them all, and split them up amongst all the archers in your party, because you will need them for the final battle. You really will. Arrows of Dispelling, excellent again for taking down the protections on mages. May find some use for them a little bit later in the game. And we have Arrows of Fire. So actually, you only get 5 in the stack. So he's got 500, and we could, yeah, we can afford to buy quite a few, can't we? And arrows +2, and yeah, all the usual good stuff. Magical bullets, all the potions you can, at least all the varieties that you can shake a stick at. We don't need to worry about too many here. I am going to grab all of the oils of speed. I've got the cash, I can afford it. And I will have the Potion of Clarity. And if I need those, they're cheap. I've got the cash. Right. So these potions of master thievery, brilliant for boosting your pickpocket skill. So you can essentially just chug the lot of them, and if you can steal from the storekeep, you just take the most expensive item, sell it to him, steal it back, sell it, steal it. You get the idea. And he never really realizes. Now, I was slightly disappointed that he doesn't have a protection from petrification scroll, because that would be really useful a little bit later in the game. All of the spells I can't use, but what I can do, and actually I don't think I'm going to need that. Since I'm not going to be taking a mage into the party, I might as well just flog it, because I can't use it, and I'm not going to be dueling my character right now, because I'm at the XP cap and it would be an insanely stupid thing to do. Right, so almost there. One more scroll to sell. I can't sell letters. That's, yeah, quite a useful little place to come, especially if you have mages. One of magic missile, no good to me really. I've got my wand of sleep and I can't use the other ones, so the wand of the heavens, very, very nice. Massive damage to just a single target, but yeah, you need to be a proper arcane spellcaster to be able to use that. Other nice things to have: monster summoning, very, very good to just kind of like create meat shields of expendable creatures between you and any enemies. May have to demonstrate how to use that with another character who does actually have a party, because that can be quite handy. But since we're soloing, I'll just tidy up my inventory. Okay. Probably want to come back at some point for the magic blocking potions and things like that, but you don't.
With ease.
Since I'm just giving you an in-depth tour of the city. I was going to say quick tour, but no, I never use one word when 50 will do. That's me. Right. Hey, Nicholas. He will, if you... I mean, I'm kind of in character here, because I am, after all, a thief, so having access to the Thieves Guild seems like a very good idea, doesn't it?
Stop a moment. I've got a word or two you need to hear.
Hello, Mr. Thief. Boss would like a word. Don't ask. And here... Yeah, come on then. Oh, yeah, we have a password. Whatever it is. And we won't talk to him quite now, but there is a very good idea. Sorry. There's a very good reason to come to the Thieves Guild. And actually, I'm going to pop in the side entrance. So there's that is another inn you can use. Not too much of interest in there, I don't think. Again, look it up on the wiki if you need to.
Hi, friend.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Do you think I'll just take a chance? It's that, yeah. Good. Thank you very much.
It will be done.
Right. So through... Oh, no, not there. I actually have to go into the building. Right. Black Lily. She is she's a fence. She will take stolen goods. So if you nicked the or took the stolen robe of the Archmagi from the Droth, I really maybe ought to
Not a problem.
not freewheel quite as much. From the drow sorcerer in the Spiderwoods, you can sell them to her because she will take any kind of good store. But what is really of interest in this area is what's in this barrel. It's a big, huge book. Now, I won't have the lore skill to identify it, so I'll have to take it back to Sorcerer's Sundries. Big, huge, orange, yellow, gold books like this, that there, you may remember we saw a couple a little bit earlier, because they boost these very important numbers here. So, good to have.
It'll be the darkest day you never see.
Hello.
Or I don't have much.
What have you got? I'd like to see your wares, even though you're not a Khajiit. So, a few, magical things to be... A few more bitey arrows. A few more arrows of dispelling. That may well be the best sling that you can get in the game. So I'm not entirely sure what separates it between the normal +1, but yeah. Can we? Nah, you can't steal from the thieves, but they have a few more oils of speed, potions of magic blocking and protection, which we will want to pick up, and it's always nice to know that there's another place that sells potions of healing. So, yeah, quite handy. Oh, I'm not sure if she'll be able to identify it. No, she can't. Okay, nice meeting you. And we will pop back, close the door behind us because we weren't raised in a barn, and zoom back to Sorcerer's Sundries. Meow. And get this book identified.
Yes.
I have a very interesting book. It is a manual of quickness of action, and it raises my dexterity, which is absolutely gold useful for a thief. So, higher the dexterity, the better the thief, or that's the theory anyway. So just have a quick check of the record, see if we have any changes to my armor class, or my kind of like base to hit with the missile weapons. This may not change. It's gone down by 1. It makes it slightly less likely that I will critical miss, but you know what this idiot is like. But yeah, these are stats that are pushing towards godlike now, and there's still a few manuals left in the game that we can try and find, and 2 of them are in the city, but you have to know where to find them, and yeah, just be a little bit careful about the buildings and areas you choose to go in. I don't think I've changed armor class. No. So I've got the maximum bonus to armor class from dexterity that I can get. Alright, we're done with this region for now. And we will scoot to the next area. So I'm going to try and take you anti-clockwise around the city. Some with all the walls and things within the city, it can be a little bit tricky sometimes to actually get the area transition that you think. So this is the northeast quarter, and there is a wall down the middle. So we're probably going to end up in the eastern side. So we have our Tome of Dexterity, and there are 2 more that we will try and find as we go round. Right. And oh, hello.
Your time.
Why? Yeah, what? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you got the trousers to back up those words, mate. Right, so they have given us a little bit of a threat,
Not a problem.
obviously. If you didn't manage to read all the text, you can obviously go to the pause button and read it at your leisure. But there are a couple of little side quests available in this, well, as a follow-on from this encounter. But it is avoidable if you don't want to be bothered with it, and avoiding the follow-on actually allows you to get one of these tomes that I was talking about. So oddly, we have well, it's difficult. Well, from this view anyway, you can't get from the east side of this part of the city to the other side of the wall. You have to come in from a different area, or you can do what we're going to do, which is just take a quick jaunt in the sewers underneath the wall and come back up. I think there's a quest associated with this. You can go in there and raid it, and there's a little bit of loot in there that, you know, if you have a party you might want, but there's no real utility for me to go in there, and I don't think there's terribly much of interest in the shop either. So here we are, not really worth bothering with. Well, certainly not in this video series. So let's have a look very quickly at the sewers. They're charming, aren't they?
With ease.
So I am just going to duck under the wall. It's worth actually drawing out a map of how all the underground sewer areas connect together related to the surface map, because it's not always obvious where you're going to end up when you actually navigate through here. Yeah. Alright, so to get back up you need one of these little ladders here. There are nasty things lurking around in here, but we're not going to bother with that for now. We'll save that for another time. So you can see we've ducked under the wall, and we're on the west side of this particular region now. There are a couple of things in here that are worth looking at. We have a temple to Ilmata, so we can get... Is he? Oh, he's just a beggar. The priest has gone to bed. It's too late for him. So from the priest in there, you can, you know, hoard some more health potions.
Not a problem.
There are a few little things with nothing or rubbish in that you can, you know, just scoop up a few gold pieces here or there. A few random houses, and the area transition to where we're going to go next. There's also an inn in this area, which has a few side quests associated with it as well. It's called the Splurging Sturgeon. Oh no. Maybe I'm thinking of the... Oh no, that's the Splurging Sturgeon's down here. The Blushing Mermaid is another tavern, which also has maybe a few people you want to talk to in there. If you need to hoover up some more experience points. The reason I wanted to mention the splurging sturgeon, if I can find it, it is down here somewhere, I think. Well, that's what it said on the wiki anyway. Where are you? Is that it? Yeah, there we are. I wasn't imagining things. So, particularly if you have Corran in your party, there's a side quest that you can do for a sorceress or mage that you can find in one of the inns in another part of town, who will ask you to do a little job for her, and she will meet you here to give out the quest reward. Right. So just a quick tour of the northeast, and let's zing over, hopefully, to the north section. So the first time you come to the city, it's well worth doing this and unlocking all of the different parts. Just so that if you do ever need to leave the city, you can come back to a specific sector without having to traipse your way manually through all the little sectors of the city.
To the likes of you.
And then why are you bothering then? I'm going to take the chaotic response. Right. So this region, I think, is one of the larger ones in the city. So we'll do a standard spiral search pattern, and as we find landmarks, I will talk about them as we go. So you notice again the little grates down into the sewers. So it is entirely possible to get anywhere in the city as if you were a Nosferatu in Vampire the Masquerade. And
Good eve on you and yours, my friend.
oh, who are you?
Might I have your ear?
Oh, hello. Sure. Yeah, what's going on? Well, I don't mind stretching the technicalities of the law. I am a thief after all. Oh, Ragefast. We heard about him in the Friendly Arm when we first visited him. Ragefast was the guy who was casting bark skin on his nephews. Oh, captured a nymph? Oh, she doesn't want to be in the city, does she? Yeah, consider it done. Well, it sounds like a most noble quest, even if it's technically illegal because I have to break into his home and maybe murder the mage. But I will take that quest now, because this is Ramazith's Tower, which is one of the... It looks a little bit like the pagoda in Kew Gardens, just in Western London. Well, Western Greater London, if you want to be probably more precise about it. You can see it has plenty of levels, and there is good loot in here. There is one item I am particularly keen on liberating from this tower, and that is another one of the tomes, and this one boosts your intelligence. So having 18 intelligence will be a very good thing for me in Baldur's Gate 2, because I am going to duel this guy to a mage thief. So I'll be able to hopefully cast a few more spells. And it may give me a lore boost as well. So, I was just distracted by my my phone was telling me I had messages. Nothing to worry about. So, zoom around again. There's a few nice looking houses that you can break into if you really must. If it doesn't have a marker, it's not necessarily really worth looking in. This is the Temple of Hell. The priests in here probably want you to do a few things for them, and you can get access to the standard potions and healing spells and raise dead spells if your party is a little bit worse for wear. What else have we got in here? Well, that's a little gate and exit to... I think that might actually take you out of the city entirely. So...
Something on your mind?
Oh, that... what's that supposed to mean? Urban Man's Dungeon. Yeah, I mean, we know all about that. Yeah, can't get into these houses. One of the things I've always kind of thought I was never quite right about games like Baldur's Gate is that you can just barge into people's houses, and if you don't talk to them, they just, it's almost as if they assume you should be there rather than trying to kick you out straight away. They're quite loquacious in this area, aren't they? Yeah. So that's a little bit of interesting information. So there's the Ducal Palace, and these gates will remain pretty much unpassable until the little story event that will actually take you inside for something very special. Right, let's just clear the map. So the Three Old Kegs is another tavern you can rest in. Have a chat with a few of the people inside. There may be people in there who want to kill you or give you little side quests. Usual stuff. And if I go off the western edge of the map, that will take me to the northwestern sector.
With ease.
Okay, don't stop quick saving. So, what is of interest over here? I don't think I wrote it down on my little checklist, so let's improvise and find out as we go, hey? Okay, another place you can just go and sleep and see if there are any named NPCs who will want to give you quests. A few. That's not a tome, it's just a book. So, if you want to brush up on your lore, you can collect all of the books. And actually, when you go back to Candlekeep, you can spend a little bit of time in the library itself, and that will give you plenty of opportunity to find some books to read. I bet you're glad I got the boots of speed, don't you? Oh, makes uncovering the map just so much easier. Right, what's that? The Helm and Cloak. Name taverns like this are usually
Hey,
good for
friend.
finding
Good to meet a fine sod such as yourself.
finding little side quests. Do 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 do. Oh, the question of declaring war on Arm. Oh my word! What the hell? So, the machinations of the Iron Throne are starting to pay fruit for Saravok. That is a house of an art collector, if my memory serves. And the statues in his house aren't actually statues. If you remember the lady we rescued in the basilisk garden, you can probably imagine. Oh, colour spray. Yeah, well, I'll take it. I was going to sell that at Sorcerer's Sundries a little bit later. So yeah, there's a side quest. You can sneak in there and get some nice nice loot. This also is an optional area. If you recruited Eldoth, you need to sneak in here, and there, because that's where you'll find his beloved Sky, who is a relatively mediocre thief. Probably not as bad as Harrison, to be fair. So if you want to go in there, there's stuff in there you can loot and steal, but you can, at zero risk to yourself, have a route through these little chests, and that's a club +1, and I'm not sure if that is cursed or not. I don't think it is, but since I can't identify that... Oh, actually, I can't identify that either, so I'll take it. I'll probably take a loss on it. But, yeah, never mind. So... nice big house. A couple of floors to explore. Try not to aggravate the staff. If you must, practice your backstab. You know... try not to do it on Duke Entar. Right. I think... yeah, I can't remember what you do in that house. Look it up on the wiki. Onward. Onward on the tour. So... if you're, trying to do everything in here, it will add, a good 10+ hours to the game.
It will be done.
Well, the first time you do it anyway. You might be able to do it a little bit quicker later on. Not another person who needs help. I sense you're trustworthy. Go on. Your master. Come on then. Here we go. I think it isn't named on the map, so it is a good idea to follow him. Right.
There is nothing I can do, but I must do something. It is a risk, and risk is everything.
Right, what's up? I like the way they still talk of you as if you have a party, even though you're soloing. So he works at the ladies' hall, which I'll show you in a moment, and this young lad decided that he was going to, break into the bitch queen Umberlee's house which I'll show you in one of the next areas. Thought it would be a giggle. Didn't really work. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't believe in free will. I will go and get him. Yeah, just because I'm gonna go exploring down there sometime anyway. And it is probably a good idea to have this quest in your journal before you actually visit the temple, because they're not terribly welcoming of unbelievers. Yeah, they killed a young lad just for trespassing, so you know.
I love money. Yes, I do.
Do you? Don't we all? I mean, if you choose that line of dialogue, you get exactly what you deserve. So, what? Fine. So, as you may have picked up from that little interlude, the Seven Sons and the Merchant League are there's a little bit of turmoil going on at the moment, but we'll have to investigate that a little bit later. I think that's what Scar asked us to do. But the Ladies' Hall, it's worth going in here, and
With ease.
this guy here has... Remember those two guys who threatened us in the northeast? If you don't end up going on to the next part of their chain quest, and I'll tell you how to avoid that a little bit later, this guy actually has an item that you would use for the quest, but if you don't trigger the event that incurs the necessity for you to do the quest, and it is a necessity if you do trigger it, he has something that is quite handy, which may want me to use a couple of these. Right. So each one, the effects are cumulative. So if I drink 2, that should give me a relatively non-rubbish pickpocket skill. That's if I wait for the events to actually trigger. Okay, so he's had 2. He is now apparently lucky. What's... Pickpockets are better than 100%. Is quite handy. So you can just see what these guys have got. And thieves skills. And bump into him from behind. Pickpockets. What do we have? Okay, it's potion of healing is always good, but that's not what I'm after. What I am after...
This way, good sir. Over here.
Not right now. I will click the correct item and icon. Anyone would think that English was my first language, wouldn't they? Oh, sorry. I failed my dexterity roll and just bumped into you again. Ooh. It's another one of these tomes. I found this interesting book.
Forgive me, but I have meditations to attend to.
Could you take a look at it for me? And I'll take the club as well. So it actually gives you an extra bonus to hit at night. Very, very handy. So it's a bit more valuable than a normal club. And this is a Tome of Understanding, which will boost my wisdom score. There are 3 of these in the game. This is one of them which would normally be used for this quest, as I mentioned. Thank you very much. But as I have just done, you can just steal it and use it to raise your wisdom. I don't think it's going to... No, it hasn't given me any lore bonus, but maybe if I get one of the other ones, it will give me a little bit of a lore bonus. Right, let's see what this lovely young lady has. Oh, nothing. Okay, bye-bye. So, probably won't need to go in there again, so let's just have a run around the rest of the area. So this big, huge building that I'm going to show you just when I've got rid of this shadow. Right. I remember being pretty, like, wowed when I just saw how big this building was the first time I saw it. And it is the Hall of Wonders. So this is like the, copper soup factory factory? That's not the word I was looking for. Museum. The copper soup museum in Tokyo. It's a great place to bring the kids. See all the wonderful copper soups. And, good time was had by all. There's a little bridge into the High Hall of Wonders, which doesn't have any exhibits in it, but there is a fairly amusing side quest in there where you can encounter a bard who's struggling for inspiration, and he will pay you a pittance, a few gold pieces for any things that he could use as inspiration for his next song. Not worth the time in this video really, but another nice place to stock up on health potions and that kind of thing. And that... Is that everything? Have I... No, okay. We'll just sweep that out and then move to the next area. Because it would be nice when we come back to these regions later in the series, just to have everything already uncovered. So yeah, a few things lying around with sod all in them. And this, I think, is Ragefast's house. Oh, check the map. Indeed it is. Right, we will continue the tour and just finish that off, and then what we will do is we will do the couple of side quests that we picked up. Rescuing the nymph, stealing the tome of boosty intelligence, and we will also pay a visit to the Temple of Umberly in one of the next regions that I'm going to show you. Just ticking off all the things. I think I've shown you everything in this area that is worth it. And hopefully this will take us to the southwest sector. No, it doesn't. It takes us to the centre. I was going to show you this one last, but yeah, sometimes the things can be a little bit squirrely. So I do want to do... actually, I don't think you can get to... Can you get to that sector from here? No, let's do the central sector, because it's been too long since we've had any carnage, and we are going to stumble across someone who's a bit upset with something I did in Cloakwood. Just
Well, I never.
oh, is this? This is Lady Hannah. The who? Oh, Ragefast. What? What have you got against him? His own personal nymph? Yeah. What? That. So she also, wants you to, rescue the nymph because she thinks he's a boar and a rotten scoundrel. Oh, here he is. Do you recognise the surname? So yeah, his brother had the misfortune of angering the druids in Cloakwood, and I accidentally killed him, and he's not happy. Unfortunately, I don't think he realises he's bitten off a bit more than he could chew. I admit the deed, but yeah, it's not what you think. Okay, is it going to be like that? I suppose it is. I will try and get you to come around to my way of thinking. And, well, assuming this works. If not, I'll simply run away and try and sleep him. The beauty of these boots is that with someone who's really quite strong in melee like this, I can just keep my distance and let the arrows do the work for me. Assuming critical miss Stormtrooper Harrison here just doesn't keep just throwing these expensive arrows into the scenery rather than the target. Right, so I have to let that go. And he's made his save, of course he has. Right, I'm probably in plain sight, so let's... Oh, I need that anyway, and I will need to give it another round. Come on. I'm stuck right underneath her. Let's go. I don't know. Duck around the corner, try and lay an ambush. And of course I failed the roll. Dude, ooh. What was that? Has he got an arrow or a dart or something? It's some kind of missile. Well, two can play at that game, buddy. Have a bitey arrow. Actually, have two. Well, he made it save that time. Oh, he's got quite a lot of health, hasn't he? That's okay. I have healing spells. Oh, that didn't go as well as I thought it would. Well, at least those darts or whatever they are aren't poisoned. Lucky old Harrison. Come on.
I am not well at all.
Well, that was a win, wasn't it?
I am not well at all.
Yeah, well, get out of the way of those fucking darts or whatever he's firing. Right. So we've wasted 2 healings. Cure light wounds. So let's... No, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to run. So you may have noticed that there's some kind of carnival in the middle of town. If you ever get tempted to go into these tents, just don't. Remember my advice from the Nashkel carnival? Nothing good ever happens in a gambling tent. I should know, I used to work in a casino. Right, can we do a bit of healing? And again. Right, and can we hide? No, because we don't have our sneaky boots on. Right, I need to find somewhere that isn't underneath a... Maybe I can do the whole Tom Arnold thing from True Lies. Hide behind the tree and succeed on a roll for once. And... Right. Let's see if I can get behind him without him seeing me. Oh, he's not true seeing. Right, you're injured. Let's try and make sure you're really injured. For fuck's sake. That is so on brand, isn't it? I'm not even going to use the Private Drake technique. Right, let's see.
Please let me speak before you attack.
Oh, shit. No, fuck off. Right, I really didn't want to bump into him, because he's the guy who triggers this quest I told you to avoid. Because you're... I may have to reload that encounter. Oh! You're supposed to have paused. Oh, he's got a crossbow. That's why he's doing me so much damage. Right, can you... Oh, for goodness sake. Right. Alternate reality time, isn't it? Let's try that again. No, I'm already damaged in that one, so we will go a bit further back through the quantum foam. Dear, oh dear. Right. Which, well, we are in the central area, yeah. Well, I guess in that quantum reality, it was me who bit off more than I could chew, not him.
With ease.
Right. It would have been a very different story if he hadn't been charmed. Right.
Drop your weapons and perhaps you outlive the day. I'll no be saying it twice.
Whatever. Now, charm him this time. Of course he saves. What are his saves like? Go to sleep. Well, this is going well, isn't it? Well, running away and staying within his ranged weapon didn't work so well, did it? Does he take... Man, do I really want to just stand here and melee him? No, because I can't hit him. What? Oh, it's him. The critical miss is catching. We're going to have to do the... This is so cheap as a tactic. But since I can't backstab him, and I can't survive a missile exchange, and I can't hit him in melee, it's going to have to be the flamethrower. He's got plenty of hit points, hasn't he? Right. Drake, we are leaving! Oh. Alright. So, close enough to give him a penalty. Oh. Ian, when are you going to learn just to keep your fucking mouth shut? He was supposed to have a hit penalty. Right. We're kind of on parity, aren't we? I never learn, do I? That's too far away. Now, can I get this in? Right. Keep on flamethrowing. So, this encounter would be a piece of cake with a party. And indeed is. And would actually be okay with a warrior, but he must be out of practice. So I think I just need to back away, not far enough to cause him to switch weapon, but just to bring him on a little bit. Come on. So, keep him on a short leash of fire. And he's got to die eventually. It's only going to take at least 5 charges from... Come on, die, you... useless... No, I wasn't talking to myself, I was talking to this dude. Come on, for God's sake, hit him.
I am not well at all.
I sense an inn. Very close in your future. That's if this guy actually does die. Whoa, what is that? Goodness grief. Good grief, goodness me. Even. Morning Star, yeah. And heavy crossbow I can't identify. So that'll be worth a little bit of money. Right. I think we need to find the nearest place to have a good rest. Or I know it didn't work in combat, but maybe I can get the glitch. Maybe not, because that effect was still going. Or maybe it doesn't want to do it for me now. Try again. No. Alright. Never mind. So, yeah, we did that little encounter a little bit before I was ready for it. And I want to kind of avoid that, what's that? Yeah, we want to avoid the marketplace, because I don't want to speak to that guy who threatened us, because central region. I'll have a pause, quick check of the notes. Yeah. So there is a lady in here called Nadine who gives you a side quest. And the reward is a necklace of missiles. Because you can never have too many fireballs, can you? And there's also another shop in here. Right. If I sneak a boot. We can probably, hopefully, with a couple of nice quick saves, maybe still be able to uncover the black and find these other encounters which actually are if not XP rich, interesting enough to be worth doing. So somewhere around here there is a poultry shop that has a bit of a problem. And knowing how good Harrison is in combat, I probably can't trust him to go in there with Right. Right. Well, we'll try and hide in the shadows again before we skirt the edge of the marketplace and hopefully avoid that guy who wants to tell us that we've been poisoned. Because if you don't go through that trigger, the whole quest line doesn't happen, and you don't have to go and steal the Tome of Wisdom that I used on myself rather than for the quest. So it's another very, very strong, compelling reason not to go near the marketplace, because there isn't really anything in there that is going to be worth your gold, to be honest. So let's see if we can find this poultry shop. And there are the random gold pieces in barrels. You don't need to trigger that encounter with Lady Hannah to do the actual quest, so we'll try and stay in the shadows. And she may just have a wander about. Right. So it doesn't look like it's any of those buildings, so there is a little row down here. Alright, quick save again, just so we can duck through the quantum foam if we need to. And right, so any named building is generally worth going in. Oh, there's a tavern. That's probably the nearest one, so let's recover these hit points and have a nice rest. No, what are you doing? You can't even open doors properly. Right, doesn't appear to be anybody in here who wants to kill me for once. Let's have a good rest since we've got plenty of money. Whew. Right. So there is the option to get drunk and have a chat with the bartender, and any rumours will end up in your journal to give you side quests. But since I am not really wanting to do side quests other than the ones that really interest me and are interesting for the purposes of the video as well, let's just run like a cheetah to the exit if we can find it. I think there's a area exit down here that will take us south, is there? No, okay. I swear there is. Or should be. Some way of going south. We may have to go east first, and just if that idiot tries to waylay us. Actually, is there a way out through the sewer? Well, let's have a check. Oh, those are cleaners. We're not worried about them. It's all the kobolds and
Not a problem.
slimes and huge spiders who, you know, will pointedly ignore all of the cleaners in favour of attacking you because that's just what they do. Right, fingers crossed that's actually taken us onto the other side of the wall. Uh-huh. Oh, it's taken us to an entirely new area. Well, let's see where we are on the world map. Yeah, okay, so we're in the south side. So this is where we will find a couple of nice areas to do little quests in. Yeah, boring old house. Can I get out of anywhere in here? Oh, excellent. Yeah, I can. Right. Good, good, good. Now we can get into the more interesting part of the south side.
You're
Right.
a long-tongued lout, ain't you?
Oh, another person wants to talk to me. So, yeah, tells your life story. Oh, Baldur. Yeah, what happened to him? It's a mystery. Fancy that. Right. So there are a few warehouses. There's another tavern. Quests may be available as well as assassins. Down here there is a tavern of ill repute, which has some really quite interesting things to do in here. There's a mage in the bottom of the boat who you need to retrieve an item from him. It's one of the quests associated with Corran. But if you don't know what it is, we're probably not going to do that particular quest. But there are also a couple of lovely ladies in that that little ship-based inn who will offer to show you a good time, and their interpretation of a good time is unique. Let's put it like that. It involves entropy. That's the Harbour Master's building. There is kind of an optional side quest in here that you can do that depends on which way you go through the story, and how popular you are after you come back from Candlekeep, to whether you actually need to go in there or not. It's a fairly nice building, but whether it's worth showing you right now, I'm not exactly sure. Oh, another person. Ba 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 ba. Wow, I've never seen the like. Yeah. In the...
One is not forced to walk in the steps of their father.
Oh, another person. Oh, Elminster. You know Elminster. Yeah. Ba 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 ba. Yeah. So, go and see the Flaming Fist. I think that conversation goes a little bit differently if you have Jaheira in the party, because they're both harpers, I believe. But another little inconsequential inconsequential conversation. So if we go north from here, we end up in the centre, and if we go east, we end up in the southeast quarter. And yeah, I'm sure you get the idea. So we're almost there for this video, and we will come back here to start the. So that's the Iron Throne. We don't want to go in there for now because that's where all the bad people are. And it's worth taking note of the entrances to the sewers in this area, because they may prove useful, particularly if something bad happens to your reputation and the local police decide that they're just going to attack you on sight. And if you don't want to be fighting your way through a huge amount of people, yeah, just take note. So there is a mod where you can actually go south of here to another lighthouse, but it doesn't come as standard on the enhanced edition. Right, in there's an interesting looking set of gauntlets. These are safe to put on, though I can't identify them offhand. They're not quite as good as these. I'll pop back to a temple or sorcerer's sundries to get them identified. This is the Temple of Umberlee. Not going to go in there now because we'll save that for the beginning of the next video. Yeah, they don't suffer fools gladly, to put it mildly. So yeah, make sure you've picked up that quest to retrieve the boy's body before you go in there. And as I mentioned, you may see a familiar face who makes that quest rather less painful than it might be. Anyway, onward. Blade and Stars.
Not a problem.
Another nice tavern, which I don't need to use because I've got all my spells back, or spell-like abilities back. There are a few shops in here as well, so if you want to go shopping, that's a house you can raid. There must be a quest associated with it that I can't remember off the top of my head. But, you know, looks like a nice enough neighbourhood to spend a few hours burgling. Yeah, the usual chests with nothing and garbage are around here. Warehouses, stores. Let's just pop in the store actually for a second and see if they can identify what it is that I'm using. You can burgle things in here. I used to be called Crazy Owl, but Theramie convinced me that selling plate armour for 3 gold pieces and a small duck was no way to get ahead in business. Okay. Right, well adjusted owl. Yeah. Let's see if you can identify these things for us. Heavy crossbow +2. No wonder that guy was doing so much damage. Unusable by a thief, so I might as well. And he doesn't have the ability to identify that, so okay, I'll have to take that to Sorcerer's Sundries. Well, so having done all that damage to me, at least that 4,000 gold is gonna, and So, yeah, actually the 5,200 gold I've looted in equipment of his courts will buy me a few potions, won't it? Right, so yeah, worth it maybe for the encounter. Well, actually, we didn't look at what he had for sale. Anything interesting? Yeah, come on, well adjusted down. No, it's just the standard garbage, isn't it? Right. Have a quick save, and let's just uncover a little bit more of the area. Another unnamed inn and tavern. That may be where you find the NPC for Nadine's quest, actually. If I've read the wiki correctly, because I certainly can't remember doing that quest 16 years ago. So yeah, don't remember the details of that. What else? I think there are a few more shops I haven't uncovered yet. Just warehouses, that house. Another shop. Let's take a quick poke since we're here.
Not a problem.
There he is. There's the storekeeper.
Welcome to my humble establishment.
Good supply of the basics. That implies garbage, doesn't it? Nothing magical or interesting there, and I'm not going to try stealing anything from him, because... Can you identify the gauntlets? Nope. Oh, well, that was worth it. Bye-bye.
It will be done.
No. Close the fucking door. You're raising a barn. It's not worth the time, is it? Right. Quick run around the block. Get our step count for the day. Any other interesting stores? No? Just uncover that. Bit of darkness. Bring it to the light. And let's just pop back to Sorcerer's Sundries to see whether those gauntlets are indeed, as I said, worth wearing or not. Sorcerer's Sundries.
It will be done.
Let's go. My friend Aiden is going flying.
It will be done.
Yes?
Let's see what you got, because I need to know about these gauntlets. Right, so gauntlets of weapon skill, improve all to hit abilities by 1. I not only have Thaco increase, but these are better because they give me the blanket damage increase as well. So
Yes?
no good to me without a party, but I can always use the gold to buy good arrows and good potions, so all gold is good gold, as I may have repeatedly mentioned over the course of the video series. So that just leaves us now, I guess, to, well, actually show you the area where you pick up your first story quest in Baldur's Gate. So I will just run around here and
It will be done.
yeah, I won't actually pick up the main story arc quest quite yet, because now that we've had a tour of the city, I will want to just do a little quick interlude, you know, get that tome of intelligence, since I've already picked up the other two stat boosting books that are in the city. Because before I really start going towards the end game and doing the final few story arcs, I want to try and, you know, knock off some of the more interesting things to do in the city, some of the more challenging things to do in the city as well. You know, fighting mages is always an interesting exercise. And I'm just doing a quick lap around the Flaming Fists headquarters, which we will get painfully familiar with over the course of the next few videos, I imagine. Again, make note of the nearest sewer grates that you can get into, because there may be a point where you need to exit this particular building at speed without remaining on the surface. So the general stores in here, that's, you know, good place to rest. This is another tavern, an inn, that has a bit of a slime problem, so you can get a little XP boost for sorting out their basement and just mopping up a little bit. The Merchants League we will probably end up in later, after we've sorted out the Scar's investigation of the Seven Sons. But that is for another time. Right, so we'll just finish uncovering the map, and yeah, the general stores aren't terrific. By this point, you really ought to have gotten most of the equipment that you will need to actually finish off the game. So there we are. That was the most whistle-stop tour I could achieve in this particular video. So that is the great city of Baldur's Gate. We've pretty much uncovered everything everything we need to for now. So I will just scoot back to start the next video in front of the Temple of Umberlee, the Witch Queen's house, the Water Queen's house even. The Witch Queen is someone else entirely. Right. Water Queen house. Let's just run back there. And I hope you enjoyed the tour and the little bit of carnage as we wandered through the multiverse and through the quantum foam, and picked up a few ideas of where you might want to go. When you do visit this great yet rather troubled city, and we'll call it there for now. So thank you for watching. Hope you find something, if not enjoyable, at least a tiny bit interesting and informative. And when we see each other next, we will negotiate the release of Casson's body, and we will try and negotiate the release of the Ragefast's nymph, and do a bit more stealing from mages, which is never really a good idea, to be honest. But we're committed now, aren't we? I should leave it there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Ta-ta for now.